It is time for the British invasion, and no, we're not talking about that tag team from TNA, we're talking about the Season 2 finale of Dexter. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. Season 2 is coming to an end, and it's coming to an end with a big bang, because we say goodbye to two major characters.
The end, motherfucker.
And unfortunately, one of those characters is Sergeant Doak. Some people call him Sergeant Doak, some people call him the Bay Harbour Butcher. I call him a guy that's been extremely hard done by, though.
I call him, yep, he's been shafted. The last 5 episodes, he's had a rough going.
Yeah, the guy could not catch a break. I mean, the only person that's got his back right now is Maria, but the last time we seen his back, it was blown up and landed in the swamp. So yeah, having his back right now isn't really worth much. But yeah, let's talk about the beginning of the episode. So we kind of pick up where we left off last time with Lila arriving at the cabin. We see her trying to get her way in there. Dokes is calling for help. She picks up like some sort of axe and smashes her way into the cabin. We have Dexter cleaning up dishes. Deborah's excited. She's like, no, we need to go, Dex, come on. He's like, nah, I need to clean these dishes, it's a mess. She says, we've got Dokes. But Dexter's like, no, you don't have Dokes. All you've got is a rental car. Dex is playing it cool here, playing it like he doesn't give a shit, playing it like he would rather be Carol Pelletier from The Walking Dead and clean fucking dishes
very up liquid
than go and challenge and meet Dokes face to face.
Exactly like Carol Pelletier. Dexter wants to do a bit of cleaning.
Now Deborah says, are you sure you ain't going to come? He's like, no, these dishes are my life. I love dishes.
I love them. Make them sparkle, motherfucker.
So Deborah then takes off, and as soon as she leaves, Dexter bursts into action. The gloves come off. The dishes, I mean, the washing gloves come off, and the black gloves come on. He doesn't give a shit about doing dishes. He gets his tranquilizer. He knows he needs to get to the cabin before the FBI and before the police force do, or else it's not going to look good to frame Dokes if Dokes is locked up. Because Dexter, he was considering handing himself in, but he ain't doing that anymore. He wants to live. He wants to live the good life, and he can't do that behind bars for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because to break the code, you have to kill an innocent man, but on the other hand of that, you have to job yourself it. I know I'd be doing.
Yeah, so we see Dexter gets in his car, he starts speeding towards the Everglades, and we've got Deborah, she's going toward... Everyone's heading to the Everglades, but Lila's already there. Lila's beat everyone to it. She gets inside, she finds Dokes. Dokes asks her to put the light on, she puts the light on. Dokes is stuck inside his cage, like, oh, it's good to see another face. Didn't think it. See it.
Last face you'll ever see, son.
Lila asks him, what the heck are you doing in there? And he reveals he's been caught by a maniac, and he's asking about the bags. She's asking about the bags, and he's like, you don't want to know. And it turns out that, yeah, we know in the bags are the remains of the people that Dexter has killed out there. She asks him, who put you in there? He goes, just some psycho, and you need to let me out before he comes back. But she wants to know a name. Dokes tells her it's the Bay Harbour Butcher, but she keeps pushing, and he finally reveals it is Dexter. And Lila takes this pretty bad. You know, first of all, she's shocked that Dexter, I guess, is the killer and that he's killing people. But then she sympathises with what we believe is Dokes. She says, oh, you poor man, all in there alone. And Dokes like, nah, I'm okay, just let me out. But she says, not you, Dexter. And at this point, Dokes realises, just like he realised in the last episode, he's fucked. He's ran into another psycho, another person that isn't going to help him, just like the drug smugglers didn't help him. Lila is not going to help him, and Dokes asks if Lila is Dexter's accomplice, and I mean, she may as well be at this point.
Yeah, she may as well be. She is, without actually really knowing. But could Dokes have avoided this? I mean, I guess he couldn't have said Dexter's name, but he did. Who was he to know?
How is, I mean, that's just bad luck. How is he supposed to know this is the one person that's fascinated with Dexter in the entire fucking world?
I guess when he was at the AA meeting with Dexter and he spotted him there, he could have maybe noticed her there.
True, but he didn't. Dokes is like, you know, you're not going to get away with this. And Lila's like, oh, don't worry, I'm not going to leave you here. Not like that. And she puts the gas on, she puts the stove on. Dokes is like, what the hell are you doing? This is murder. You can't do this. But she can do it. And we know she's got a history of doing this shit as well, so...
Yeah, it's good night for Dokes here, isn't it? But she leaves the key handy.
She drops the key. Dokes manages to pick the key up. He gets himself out of his cage. I mean, maybe he should have tried to turn the stove off, but I guess when you've got a clear run at the door, you go for the door first.
Yeah, the problem is...
The door's barricaded from the other side.
Yeah, that is a problem, but with gas and things like this, it could go off at any time.
Could him switching it off just be enough to ignite it?
I mean, it could be.
I know that sounds retarded, but could you argue him just flicking the switch might be...
His best bet was probably to get to this bit of the room that was furthest away from it.
Do you not see the state of the cabin when it blew up? No, it's best to go for the door.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about once he can't...
Well, he didn't really have much time. He gets to the door. He can't open it because Lila has used that pickaxe. She's put the pickaxe in the way. The door won't open. Dokes decides he's going to turn around and, I guess, dolphin dive at the stove and try and turn it off. But before he can do that, explosion. Cabin just disintegrates into a million pieces, and Dokes lands up in the swamp.
Probably one of the better explosion deaths that I've seen. I've seen a lot of explosions. I would say this is probably better than Gus Frings. I thought Gus Frings was a bit cringy.
I didn't like it the way he walks out with half a face and falls.
Like, we've seen Dokes, like, evaporate here, like, in 3 seconds, and his body fucking gets launched about Hail Mary into the Everglades.
And that is it for Dokes. Dokes is now dead, and the cabin's destroyed, and everything is gone. Dexter speeds. Dexter gets there. He gets there, and Deborah's like, "How the hell are you here? I just got here, and I took a helicopter." Dexter says, "Nah, look, you were right. I need to come and face Dokes." So they do all the searching, and yeah, basically, they're looking for Dokes. They know this cabin is where Dokes was. Next morning, they find a body. Masuka is giving information on the body.
He's black.
He's well built, middle aged. There's a good chance that this is Dokes. We've got everybody here. You got Lundy, Dexter, Deborah, Masuka. I believe Batista's also
Jonathan
here.
Banks.
You've got Deputy Adams is there. Maria. We've also got what's his name? Matthews. Captain Matthews is here, and I guess this pretty much proves that Dokes is the Bay Harbour Butcher. They said the cabin was where he done all his kills, and it was a very discreet area, a good place for someone to bring their bodies. They also find another dismembered body, and it is Jose Garza, the guy that Dexter killed, but they determined this guy was already dead, so they believe that Dokes killed him.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see if this body will get revealed, and maybe they'll look into it, connection. But I think pretty much this is where this Bay Harbour Butcher dies until later in the show. It's sad that Dokes is getting pinned for this, and I mean, Dexter at this point is not going to out himself if Dokes is dead. Yeah,
Director Adams believes it was Dokes, and Frank Lundy just kind of agrees with him.
Yeah.
Now, is Frank Lundy... Does he have a little bit of doubt? I mean,
I think he does, but what's the point of him chasing it if it's not? I think the problem with him is, I think every other case that he's done, he's believed the person was the killer, probably apart from this one, and that's what's eating at him.
Yeah, LaGuerta gets there, Dexter stops her from running over to the body. It's weird, like a guy that can't really feel... A guy that can't grieve or really feel loss. He is a little bit, I don't know, he has empathy, I guess, towards others.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does. This was an example of it here. Of course, Lagarta is the one that takes this the worst. To be expected. Dexter, it's more of a sigh of relief, so to speak. But as for Dokes, did he deserve to last longer? Was this the perfect time to kill him? I mean, it was probably the easy way out for the show in terms of, right, we don't want Dexter to kill him, and we'll have someone else kill him. Because, you know, it was actually a surprise. Like, I would never have predicted Lila to kill Dokes. Well, I didn't know how they were going to do it.
They couldn't really. How many more seasons could you do with what Dokes knows?
No, I'm saying, but I'm talking about could Dokes.
And Dexter's right. I mean, if Dexter like tries to frame him, that's going to take years, isn't it? Of Dokes accusing Dexter, legal battles,
accusing him.
You know, that's just going to drag on forever.
Yeah, but I'm just surprised Lila killed him.
Well, she did it for Dexter. I think it's safe to assume Dexter then next day he goes over to Rita's, and it's almost like he's just totally forgot about Dokes. And then we get the intro of the show, but in the it's not the intro. We get the intro like halfway through the show, where it's actually just Dexter waking up for a normal morning, and everything he would do in the intro, he's doing as he gets ready to go about his day. And I liked this scene. I thought it was good.
Yeah, he was tired.
He's talking about how he was an idiot basically for even considering giving up his life. He mentions all the things that he can do from his own apartment that he can't do from jail, although he does say he could work it in jail, but screw it, he'd rather use his treadmill in the house.
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about a shiv in your house, do you?
You don't. So everything's looking good for Dexter. Deborah doesn't want the relationship with Lundy to break up, but Lundy's got a new case he needs to go to, and it means that their planned holiday is not going to happen.
Was it in Oregon, I believe?
No, that's where
They were going to go?
No, that's where the new case is.
That's what I'm saying.
Aye.
Oh, that's where his new case is, Oregon?
Yeah, but that's not where they were going on holiday.
I didn't say that. I said his new case was in Oregon.
You literally said holiday.
No, well, I was referring to the case.
Either way, it doesn't fucking matter. He's leaving Miami and Deborah wants to go with him. So she says, look, I want to come with you. I'll throw away my job. But you love your job, says Lundy. Deborah says, not as much as I love being around you. She couldn't say she loves him. She had to say she loved being around him. Which, I don't know, bit of a cop-out.
It is a bit of a cop-out here for Deborah, and I kind of feel like she is just like throwing away her life here for Lundy. But
yeah, Lundy wants her to reconsider this, and she says that she will think about it for the day as long as he books her a ticket on her plane. So we then go to the Miami Metro, and Masuka is being bombarded with like evidence from the cabin, and a lot of it like got burnt up in the explosion, so a lot of it can't really be used, but he's gone over it all with a fine-tooth comb. But Masuka needs Dexter's help due to the large volume of evidence. Dexter doesn't really understand, neither does Masuka, to be honest, why they're looking over this evidence, because they know Dokes is their man. What more do they need to possibly find out? Now, Dexter calls Dokes homicidal, but Masuka corrects him and says, I believe the word you're looking for is suicidal. And then he reveals about the gas and the stove being on, and Masuka kind of rips the pish and says that, well, I guess it could be that Dokes didn't know that gas and fire were a bad combination.
yeah, I mean that's very true, unless he's absolutely mentally challenged. But Dokes is too smart. I like this from Masuka. A bit of banter around your dead colleagues.
But then Masuka's like, well, you know what? Maybe he, knowing the guy that Dokes is, maybe it's true. Maybe he'd rather burn than get burned. And then he repeats this line, burned than get burned. It's a good line. I'm going to write it down from my book. And Dexter's a bit confused that Masuka's writing a book, and he's like, oh, like you're not. I'd rather burn than get burned. I'd rather burn than get burned. So, yeah, maybe Masuka thinks that Dokes took himself out the game because he didn't want to get brought down. He didn't want to do time. So Masuka, I think, believes that it was Dokes. He believes that Dokes in the camp of the Bay Harbor Butcher. But
Dexter knows it couldn't have been that way.
Yeah, because Dexter knows that Dokes just wouldn't go out like this. Then he puts...
He wouldn't get... Plus, he has to get out the cage and do it. You know what I mean? Why would Dokes escape the cage and then turn on the gas and kill himself?
When he could just escape? It just makes no fucking sense. I mean, Dexter knows that Dokes isn't the kind of guy to do this, and then he concludes that there is someone that likes to do this, or someone that likes to blow things up and kill people and set fire, and obviously that is Lila. So we have Dexter phone Rita. He asks about the GPS. She says it's not there. So he knows now that Lila must have stole it, and that she had information on the whereabouts of Dokes, and that possibly she killed him. He then visits her in an aquarium, and he basically tells her that he knows, and she admits that she killed Dokes. She says that she done it for him because he's her soulmate, and they're supposed to be together.
We're soulmates, Dexter.
Dexter, she's a bit worried that Dexter might kill her as well, so that's why they wanted to meet at a public place. But Dexter's like, nah, I'm not going to kill you, but I do have to leave because even though you helped me by taking out Dokes, so Dexter's playing along, I still have to leave. You know, the heat, pun intended, is getting too hot. So
the heat of the moment.
I need to leave. I need to leave Miami. He asks Lila to come with her. Lila agrees, and she says, I'd love to leave with you. I'd love to leave Miami together. And she agrees that she's going to pack up her stuff and leave tomorrow. And Dexter thinks that, well, you're leaving, but you're not leaving with me. You're leaving in a bag.
Oh, happy days. Dexter's plans come together.
So, yeah, next day, Dexter goes to Lila's place. He's ready to attack her. He's got his bag of goods, his bag of knives, his bag of handy gear that he likes to kill people with. What weapons? What's going to be his weapon of choice? We don't know. He attacks Lila, but it turns out it's no Lila. It's Deborah. Deborah also came to Lila's place, and she was going to make sure that she was gone due to the whole expired visa, but Dexter grabbed her in a chokehold, and she's like, what the fuck, Dex? What were you going to do, wrestle Lila? And he's like, yeah. Lila then appears with some goods. She's like, oh, Dex, are you ready for the road? She asks Deborah if she's coming to say goodbye, you know, because they're family, technically. Not really, but Lila's got a warped mind. Deborah's like, no, we're here to make sure you packed your bags and fucked off. Lila then looks at Dexter. Dexter's kind of giving it away here that he's in no man's land. He's not in a good place. Lila's like, so, you're not coming with me then? And Deborah thinks it's embarrassing. She thinks that Lila's pathetic. Then says, Dexter, what did you do to make her so pathetically obsessed with you? Does your dick dance? I thought it was a pretty good line.
Good line for Deborah.
For Deborah. Lila then just realises that she's been set up. She looks at Dexter's bag and she realises that this bag was meant for me and that Dexter wasn't here to leave Miami with her. He was here to kill her.
That's my bag, actually. No, it's not. No, it's not.
I can open it up and you can check if you want. No, my
The
mistake.
card's not on the table, though. Should Lila not be like, Deb, by the way, your brother's the Bay Harbour Butcher, but she's that obsessed with him. It's like, maybe there's one last chance, even though he was going to kill me, and the chances are gone. It's like going to the poker table with no cards. You've just got 5 jokers. You're humped.
What does Lila win out of that, though?
But that's what I'm saying. She's that obsessed with Dexter. She doesn't win anything, so she has to play the only card she's got left.
Yeah, but what does she win? Like, well, you brought it up. Why didn't she do it? So what does she gain out of that? Unless she wants to hurt Dexter, like, what does she gain out of?
Well, I mean, if she not been hurt by Dexter here, he sold her a dream that, we're going to leave together, when in reality he was going to kill her. Is that not enough motive to turn on him?
Well, maybe she has turned on him because she goes to Rita's apartment, she kidnaps Aster and Cody. After injecting the babysitter with something, Dexter returns to their apartment, realises they're not there, so he tracks them down to Lila's apartment. They both say Lila's been very good to them, but that's about to change because she's standing at the exit and she says, we could have had it all, Dex, but you threw it away. I was expecting some big speech for Lila, but she kept it short and sweet. Basically just told Dexter that, look, we could have been together and now we're not. She pushes down this like candle stand and it just sets fire to her whole apartment. Dexter prioritizes the kids, manages to get them out the window, but he's too big. He's an adult. He can't fit out the window, so he starts commander crawling across the fucking apartment.
Is he too big though when he puts the wig on to pretend he's like 14?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
He should have just put the wig on and crawled it.
Yeah, he might have been able to fit. And the entire time we see the big painting of Dexter in the background where Lila's drew like a painting of Devil Dexter.
Yeah, it was a good painting.
It was a good painting, and it's weird because we see Dexter just dying, the flames of the apartment, and then they also see the flames getting caught to the painting of Dexter, then the painting of Dexter's like just going on flames, and it's like shriveling up, and Dexter's chances of getting out are shriveling up, and then he grabs like this big massive, I think it's like I think it may be the actual candle stand.
I think it is, yeah.
But it looks like a pitchfork, and then you see Dexter trying to bash his way out the door with this like pitchfork looking object, and then in the background you see the picture of him as a devil in flames, and I thought that was a really good image.
Really good symbolism. His lungs though are shriveling up as well. We all know what it's like to be in a smoke-filled room.
But it was smart though, the way he was commander crawling down the...
Aye.
I reckon Dokes would have knew how to do that shit as well.
Smoke rises. Dokes would have knew how to do that, but he wouldn't know how to fucking...
Nah, you can't really avoid a massive fucking explosion, can you? That blows up an entire cabin. But Dexter manages to wrap himself in some sort of blanket, and after 3 attempts of bashing into the wall that is caught fire, and I think it's not like a real wall, it's like well, maybe it is a real wall and it's just been damaged, but
it's like plaster.
It's like plaster wall.
It's a weak wall.
And he manages to break through it, but he's on fire. The blanket's on fire. Deborah though's there. Deborah quickly gets there. His eyebrows have been singed off, and she gets him outside. Ambulance is there. Police are there. She then tells the police to track down Lila. Says pale as a corpse. Looks fucking dead. And the cop guy writes down pale as a fucking corpse.
Good wee thing to write down. She is pale as a fucking corpse. But where is Lila? She's heading off to Paris.
Yeah, so she boards her flight. She's heading to Paris. She's getting out of Miami. Deborah, before she actually caught up with Dexter, she was just about to go to the airport herself and leave with Lundy.
Oregon.
But she got the call, and she chose her family. Well, she chose Dexter over her new boyfriend.
We could say she chose Dexter, but at the end of the day, I mean, the kids were kidnapped and fuck knows what was going on with Dexter. If she chose Lundy, I'd seriously question the past 2 seasons.
Well, she thought about it.
I know, but it was more of a, for fuck's sake, I'll go with Dexter and save 2 kids for that stupid bitch.
Alright, so she gave up Lundy, really, to make sure Dexter and Rita's kids were okay, and she says she prefers it this way, her looking after Dexter. She wants him to go to the hospital, but Dexter isn't interested in going to the hospital, and he thinks, things work in mysterious ways, and he's not ready to give up. Dokes died, so Dexter's going to make sure that Dokes died for a good reason, and that reason is that Dexter can continue on killing, and he's going to start his next kill with Lila. So we see Lila in Paris. She's walking about France. She gets back to her apartment. She's checking her mail, and all of a sudden we have a
postcard.
A
Dokes card. Does that not work? Surprise, motherfucker. You know what? It should have been one of those cards that opened up and said it, but it was a great reveal. We're seeing Dokes' face probably one last time here in this season.
Yeah, we see Dokes the last time. It's just Dokes' face on a postcard from Miami, and before Lila can even react to it, Dexter's just appeared out of nowhere.
We had a numbing agent. It wasn't even as typical, knock them out. It was a paralysis. And just like putting down a sick old dog, it was quick and painless, and I think in many ways you could view it as that. It's something that had to be put down, almost like not an apprentice, but in a sick way, someone like Dexter, very similar actually to the Rudy kill. It was almost like putting someone at their misery. Or do you feel like this was more of a revenge one?
No, I felt like it was more similar to Rudy.
Yeah, I think it was very similar to Ruby. Na 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 na. But it almost got Dokes' revenge as well. Like a wee bit of comeuppance for Dokes as we face smiling away.
Well, he doesn't really know about it, but I guess. And
yeah,
thought was there for Dexter.
Maybe he's looking up or looking down. Wherever he is. Do you think Dokes is more of a hot hell guy or a cool heaven?
I'd say looking up. He's more of a...
he's looking up at Dexter in the blaze of hell, damn it. The depths of hell, he's looking up. But Dexter ends the season with a kill.
Yeah, Lyle asked him not to do it, but he didn't really listen. He says, but you wanted me to be who I am. You wanted me to open up and be true to myself. And Dexter, this is when he's been most true to himself, when he's killing people.
Yeah, so, he didn't fly all the way to Paris just to inject her, then leave. He flew to Paris.
Lila wanted to see the real Dexter, and she got to see it up close and personal when she got stabbed. And we say goodbye to the Lila character. Dexter then flies back to Miami. We see Detective Batista and Deborah getting their memorial service. They're getting medals at the Dokes' memorial service, and I felt sorry for Lagerta as well, trying to raise money for Dokes, but at the same time, it's like, if the guy's been convicted, it's kind of hard to go into this department and try and get money for people for this killer, because at the end of the day, we know he's not the killer, but everyone else may as well think he is. Lagerta can try and pretend to herself that he's not, but there's no real evidence that suggests he's not. Oh, he wasn't there at this whereabouts for this kill or whatever, but realistically, I think Lagerta just needs to accept that, here, I don't think he is, but everyone else thinks he is, and that's the end of it. We can't expect people just not to think that. But sad scene at the end, everyone gets their medals. Kind of weird seeing them all in uniform, but yeah, good way to end the season, and I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. I'll also get a 9 out of 10.
And that's it, guys, for the British invasion. The Brits are done for this season of Dexter.
I don't know why it's called British invasion when she's leaving, but well.
Guess she invaded the cabin.
True.
Fun fact, when I seen the episode title of this a few episodes before, I thought, what could she possibly invading? I possibly thought, maybe she'll find the cabin. And she did, but I didn't think she'd kill him, so still a big shock there, guys. Anyway,
I thought it was sad seeing Dokes' funeral with no one there, other than his mum, 2 sisters, Lagerta and Dexter.
Yeah, it was almost like social distancing.
You wonder why Dexter's even there. Maybe he does feel guilty, maybe he does actually feel remorse for what he's done. Or is it part of his image? Is he thinking, right, I need to show that I'm a good guy, I'm the bigger guy, and I need to attend this guy's funeral?
This guy fucking hated me, but I'm here.
That could be it.
Dokes would have been given the service at Dexter's funeral. This motherfucker. But Dexter lurking in the shadows here.
I just don't know why he didn't. Why didn't he just not sit next to Maria? Obviously they're going to know he's there.
Yeah.
When there's that few people in a room, you can't help but notice someone's there.
No, exactly, and I mean, not a good. Yeah, it would have been a much better look if he sat beside Maria, but here, maybe he couldn't be arsed with other people's mourning, which is fair enough. But that is it for the British invasion. Next up for us will be Invading Season 3, but until then, peace.